Alright, 3, 2, here we go. Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Nothing Zilch Nada. You may notice, and I'm going to be hopping between the two cameras, you may be noticing the two cameras, but also you may be noticing that my co-host Jacob Green isn't on this episode. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with our fake breakup that we had in the past couple episodes. This is actually due to a more personal situation. See, the weekend where we would normally be recording this happens to be Easter weekend, and both of us happen to be way too busy on Easter to record an episode, which is understandable. We're both very family oriented. With that being said, instead of doing a normal episode like that, what we are instead electing to do, and I made sure to okay this with Jake first before I did this, is we would release a behind the scenes episode. And because I do most of the editing, I have more of the creative decisions with this, I'll be the one walking you through how we create each episode. It's going to take a while. Don't worry. You're not going to be seeing two separate cameras. I'm going to use this big camera for a time to be explaining. When you don't see my screen, you will then see more me looking at this camera right here. Yes, I get it. There's a hole in my ceiling. We're not going to worry about it. So without further ado, we're going to start with something really simple. How we get our Zoom, or how we get Zoom started. So normally, we will record Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, depending on how early we need to start. And I'm going to try to share with this. Alright, so you all should see that. And I just realized that I am going through there. So you may see a little bit of this going on. Let me just move that. Now the way we would do this is we would go, looks like we're already signed in, which is great. I don't have to go. But we would press this, we would press sign in, and then what I like to do, why is this not showing me what we do? We'll go to meetings, no. Way to show me. Alright, well, I guess we'll do this a long way. Sign out, I'm gonna press sign in. Just ignore the numerous amounts of Gmails. Yeah, just ignore those. This is the screen I normally get to. So, this is where we get a lot of our big situation, or big meetings. So we would press schedule. I would come up with a topic, usually NZN, and then whatever episode numbers, something like that. I'd schedule it for whenever it needs to. I like to change the duration all the way down to 24 hours, just in case we have it set for an hour, and it's just not getting us through. Going down, make sure everything's okay. Usually everything's okay by then. I will then press save, and then I will copy the link after it's saved, go to the Nothing Zilch Nada Gmail, and I send it to Jake's email. So I'm still the one I'm technically the one running the Zoom meeting and sending it to Jake. As you can see, we don't really do much with this email other than get notifications about Spotify. So we'll get to Spotify in a while. So, and then to join a link, we would press that, or we press this button, it'll give us the, are you sure you want to start? Do you want camera, not camera? And then we would start it. So that is pretty much it for what we do going in. When it comes to actually coming up with topics, we like to alternate. This gives us at least 2 weeks to think about a topic, and if we need any sort of research we need to do, it gives us ample amount of time to get that research with our busy schedules. We will then spend however much time recording our episodes. Generally, we don't take as much as we think. I think this last episode we only took 30 minutes. I know some of our longer ranking episodes take hours. It kind of just depends on what goes on. So we'll record, we'll stop. We usually have a good hour-long conversation afterwards, just catching up because Jake and I don't live in the same town. You know, it is what it is. Your best friends are usually the ones that live a gajillion miles away. So, anyway, after we're done recording, or I guess I should tell you how we record. Down here, there's a little button with record. As you can tell, it's currently recording. This is so that I could show you some extra parts that I couldn't show you if it's recording. You may also notice that Zoom, or this is showing you stuff that Zoom normally would. Sorry, I just ate lunch. You may notice that there's certain things on here that Zoom normally doesn't show when you're recording on Zoom. It's because I'm doing a screen record as well as recording on Zoom, as well as recording on my iPad, which is why I get a little head over here. Anyway, we would press this record button. It will give us it'll give me an action to either record to the cloud or record to the computer. I like to record on the computer just so that I know I have it. When I'm done recording, I will press stop recording.
Recording stopped.
It'll give us this notification, lets us know the recording's done, and we can sit back, relax. You may notice that some of our videos have post-credit scenes. We would press the record button again and go through. Saves a lot on it, or it saves a lot of sanity for me on editing, because then the videos will automatically split, as you will be able to see as we continue going. So when we're done, I will then press exit, and then this is where I move from this screen to small screen. So there we go. So if you notice, right down here, there is a little screen that says converting meeting or recording. Obviously, this doesn't happen, or this happens all the time. The amount of time it takes for it to convert highly depends on how long we've been recording. This has only, I want to say, 12 minutes of recording. That's the 8 minutes that I've recorded so far, and then an extra 4 minutes for a first set of recording that I couldn't use because of other situations. So as you can tell, it's at 50%. Usually around this time, I will go upstairs, take a drink of water, eat, talk to my family, do whatever. I let the computer just sit, handle it on their own. And then when I'm done, I will come back down. I will see once it gets to that, because I kind of hoped it would finish soon. How's everyone's day going while we're waiting? Good? Good. Mine is going great. There we are. So you'll see that it says you can save your recording. This will send it directly to a Zoom folder. I can never find that Zoom folder, so I instead go choose new location, and it'll send me directly to my downloads. If you look, I have all the sections in downloads already. So I will press choose, and then I will press save, and it will tell me where it is. It will also have a little pop-up right there. It will show me all of my downloads, and it will tell me specifically date. Now, we're not going to be using what I just recorded to make the video because we already made a video earlier. Instead, what we will be using is this little, what says NZN 313, which is our April Fool's Day episode. But for now, we're going to go off of that. I'm going to close this because I don't need that. And now we are going on to what I consider to be our big editor, which is iMovie. Yes, I'm recording on a MacBook. Don't judge me. With this, what we do, I'm going to try my best to stare at the camera and not at the screen, but this is really hard for me. So you may notice that I have one thing specifically for NZN. It's titled NZN template, in parentheses again. That's because with how much space these episodes take on my computer, I've had to cleanse it so many times that it's accidentally deleted the template already. So, that's why it's again. It's probably the third time I've done this. I would go on to here, it'll load, and you may see that it already has a video. This is actually a video recording of our last episode before April Fool's, which was our interview with the leprechaun. Really wish I had a better face for this, because I'm looking at my face right now and it is giving off Coraline vibes. Maybe I just need to stop using these glasses when I'm recording. Whatever the case is. So this is where I go. I delete this. And then I press delete media from event. That goes directly onto into my little trash can. I empty that. Helps clear up a little more space so I don't have to go through. You may also notice that this is a recording from the YouTube channel. It's because the initial video got deleted as well. So, luckily, with everything posted on YouTube, I can quickly go back, bring it all back in. So with this, I can then go to this little arrow going down. As you can see, it's already going to where I am at, or where the last episode was. So go here, go to downloads, and sometimes I have to do a little more scrolling, sometimes I don't. Here, I don't really, because it'll show you when we're recording. This one was our recording from today, or from just a little bit ago. And then this one is the recording from earlier. So I'm going to click that. And you'll see there are two videos. That's because we had that little post-credit scene. So I'm going to first click this one. Import. Alright. Now this is the hardest part. You have to be precise with this. You take the clip and you drop it down to here. And this is already set so that there's no extra piece that I need to change. Scroll through, make sure everything looks fairly good. There will be times where I will go through and make sure to listen to the audio. So here, let me quickly.
Yeah, viral, and like your secretary, he is 18. You being a successful businessman with an excellent...
I forgot these were jokes for some of the earlier ones. Like I said, I will listen to the audio. Sometimes I already know the audio is going to be as good as I can get it. We're scrolling to the end where we have our little extra thing. And then again, go to the arrow. We'll do this little small section. And we'll put that at the end. So as you can tell, editing's not that hard for me. It's just, here's the clip, bring it down. There have been times where I've had to split video and audio so that matches, but overall, I try to make this take as less time as possible so that it all works out. Now that we've got this done, I'm gonna go up back to projects. I'm gonna press these three dots, press share, social platforms. It'll bring up this thing right here. It's just like telling you what is all on there, how much it is. Press next. And again, this goes to downloads. It makes it a little easier for me to find because my thing immediately goes to downloads. And then I just have to put down what the episode is. So this is NZN 313. So episode 13 of season 3. Press save. And then you'll see there is a little circle up top. This circle has what I like to call what am I saying? This circle shows how far along the downloading process is. This also tends to take a while. I like to walk away from this while it's downloading. But for the sake of this, because there is another thing that I tend to do that I'll actually be doing with this episode. Actually, there's two separate things I can show you while this is downloading. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to here. Quickly go to YouTube, and before you can see what all I normally watch, I'm actually going to switch accounts. View all channel. That's not what I wanted. Right, because this one doesn't. I have to actually go, if I can use my computer correctly, I have to go over to here, quickly go here. And if these things will work, let's see. This is an extraneous process. But it is my process, and this is what I have to deal with. We do that. Switch account. I think I might actually have to sign out. And then sign back in. Under Nothing Else Nada. Yep, this is me. Yes, with this I have, cancel that, skip. I have my little fingerprints. So, now, this is something else I do, which I'm doing with this one. Usually I will record on my iPad if we need a split screen and a split screen doesn't really work well. Or if Jake and I are recording together. When that's the case, I go over view channel, which you could see our previous episodes. If I go to the videos list, scroll down, and never mind, I actually have to go to customize channel. We'll get there eventually. Content. If you scroll down, you'll see I have 2 right here, soon to be 3 with this, that aren't public. This says NZN 27, and this says do not watch. those are our rankings for the Johto tier list as well as the Lego blind bag ranking. Now, for both of those, we'll just start with this one. And let's say I were to watch it. Hello. Welcome to... We're going to turn the volume off for this because I don't like listening to my voice. Hair was a lot shorter than that. So, as you can tell, this is playing. And while this is playing, if I were to move on to a separate... Oh, I have to have the audio. Alright, let's turn this down a little bit. I think this should be good. If we were to move on, you'll see that I have this little screeny guy right here. I usually keep it down here because I'm working on things. But for this, you know, let's say we were to move it there. Move it there. So I will go up there, have that recording if I use the iPad, and then to screen record, I go to my apps, scroll down, and there is right here screenshot. If this, yep. If you look, it is currently recording. I'm actually going to exit this so that we can keep this recording going. So when it records like this, I can show, I can show this video, talk through there, while at the same time going through and keeping track of everything else. Depending on the episode, will depend on whether or not I need to mute this video that I'm currently playing through my iPad, or the video, like the screenshot. It's a 50-50 shot here. But that is what that is. I'm actually going to get off of it here and actually go off of Arc because I don't use Arc when it comes to this. And we're not even halfway done. Yep. Yeah, 90% of what I have is waiting. Yeah. When it comes to recording through my iPad or my phone, I usually airdrop the videos to my computer. That one's pretty self-explanatory, I want to say. It makes things a little easier for me than trying to send it to my computer any other way. While we're doing that, I'm actually going to empty this. Yes, empty. Alright, and then we're going to keep this up. Oh, I lost the little spinning wheel. What happened? Let me look at my downloads. Downloads should be in the Finder. There, so as you can tell, it is there now. I'm just going to quickly go and check to see if... Alright, looks like all of it is there. I don't know where that jump came in. I'm hoping this is going to work well. After recording this, I'm actually going to go and check that because it's kind of scary. But with that, I'm going to say we're done with this. So let's exit out of here, and now we go back to Safari. And I can actually clear you out. I like to keep Gmail up for Spotify. And when it comes to uploading, I actually start uploading through whatever it is, through YouTube. So go to upload videos, press select files, I scroll down to where it says NZN 13, which is the last episode we made, and upload. And then it'll give you this thing such as title, description. So S3E13, and I'm going on to Spotify to double check how the episode formats are. I write them all, I just can't remember how we do it. Okay, so it starts with starts with a colon. And then this is in real life. I know we recorded it separately. I'm actually calling this in real life because it doesn't really match anything else. And then because we had this as an April Fool's joke on it being our last episode, all right, the final episode, in parentheses, no laughing matter. I like to come up with some funny titles. Jake comes up with his own. I like to base it on topic. So if it's my topic, I make the title. If it's Jake's topic, he makes the title. Sorry, I was just having a little error. Copy this, and then during this time, I will start a new episode on Spotify. I do this for two reasons. The first one is because this allows YouTube enough time to go through and process the video. Spotify doesn't take as long. As you can tell, Spotify is already at 17%, and I just uploaded it. YouTube has a bunch of checks that they do to make sure. Actually, they do their checks while we're uploading. Spotify doesn't do their checks until after we upload. So now we have our description. I like to start it. Welcome back to Nothing Zilch Nada, with an exclamation point on this episode. And again, I like to keep it at a 1-sentence summary. I'm actually going to change this to on this final episode. Really let it be known that Jake and I are done with this. On this final episode, ex-friends Jacob and Xavier. Actually, Xavier and Jacob. Not saying I am I'm really big on this, but I like to have it where whoever's name is first, that's whose topic this is. So if you see an episode title with Jake's name first, it's him. If you see my name, it's me. I feel like I fail at this multiple times. I'm trying my best with this. Yep, so on this final episode, ex-friends, Jacob and Xavier, try to make each other laugh and hopefully rebuild a friendship. Again, 1 sentence, nothing big. And I'm gonna copy this, paste this onto YouTube. So you see, we got multiple different things going on. We're gonna go back to Spotify for now, because Spotify looks like it's just about done. Plus, we're giving YouTube a little more time to process. Spotify I tend to do a lot more with. So, I don't add any shortcuts. Probably should. I like to change this to explicit content just because, again, I don't really listen to what Jake and I say. Sometimes we'll let a curse word slip out. And I don't want to be the one to... And I don't want to have it where it's like, well, we're too restrictive, but we're not restrictive enough. I like to say we're a PG-13 at most podcast. Even though we're probably more just PG. If we have a debate, I like to add a poll. But this is not a debate, so we're not doing that. Alright, keep it a full episode. Let us know. It is 3:13. And we keep comments on because we like comments. So then we'll go next. And you'll see this white screen. You're like, yay, it's done. Nope, you just gotta scroll up. I will then schedule this. This episode will release on April 1st. at 8 o'clock. You may be asking, why 8 o'clock? Well, it's early morning. I like having things released early morning as more of a, hey, this happened. You know, if there's any commuters that happen to be driving before 8 a.m., it gives them something to listen to, sometimes a little longer. I make sure to go through, double check everything, make sure everything's good, and then press schedule, and it says you're all set. Woohoo! Everything should be all set, except for one thing. And that one thing is then, this is why I said we're going to keep the Gmail up. If I refresh my page, if I refresh it one more time, are you not going to do it? They're not going to do it this time. Alright, well, if you look at the screen, you'll see that there's a lot of Spotify for creators, and it says, alright, there's a bunch of videos, or not videos, bunch of emails that say either your video is processing or your video was successfully processed. Normally, I would get the your episode is processing right away, but I am not getting that at all. Is it maybe under spam? No, that's Zoom. No, it just wanted to mess with me. So, we will get this from Spotify saying that your episode is processing. And it will be available on Spotify when processing is complete. And this is where the worst part of the waiting game comes. Because now I have to wait until I get that your episode is successfully processed in order to even show you what's going on. It's harsh, but it's fair. Alright, so now with that, we're going to go back to here, onto YouTube, scrolling down. We're not putting this in the playlist. I actually don't put things in playlists until after the fact. I like to say, no, it's not made for kids, but I don't do any more with age restrictions other than that. Again, I don't think we are hard R with our videos, but we're definitely not PG. Scroll through, just double check to make sure all of these are good. And yep, all of this looks good. And press next. Now, this part always gets me because I like to try to add subtitles, but because in order to add subtitles, like let's say I were to press add, can't type manually, won't let me auto sync, and I don't have any files with what we say. I tend to leave this one a little more B. I generally wait until YouTube goes and puts up subtitles. Moving on to next. It looks like there's no copyright issues, but there are community guidelines that are being checked. I've never seen that before. We review your video for some. Keep in mind that wouldn't even let me finish. Nope, we're all good, which is great because this means less time for this episode. So now we'll go to next, and then I scroll down to schedule, just like before. 1. And if this will let me, scroll down to 8. And I'll set this for premiere. That way you can see that we have released there's an episode that we have already made. We're ready to release. We just need some time. Scroll down and then schedule. And you'll see that it's scheduled. So close. Now that's all it is for Spotify or for YouTube. As you can tell, it'll have us, or it'll say, that the premiere is there. It'll say that it's scheduled for that day. When it is released, it'll say it's been premiered. And it looks like, alright, and our Spotify is successfully processed as well, so that's good. Overall, that is how, that's how our videos are made. So, if you ever watch one of our videos and you're sitting here like, wonder how this is made. Come back to here. This is pretty much how it's made. Yeah, otherwise, I'd say that's it. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. I'm sure Jake and I did. Make sure you stay safe. I'm gonna say stay warm. If not, stay cool. I don't know how warm or cool, but I'm sure it's going to be there. And overall, make sure you have those conversations. I know it's probably boring hearing just one voice rather than two voices, but, make sure that you still spread the conversation. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful night.